Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So in today's video we will be talking about Lionel Messi and his current situation with FC Barcelona. Then we will be moving on to Pedri and his official presentation with the club, and lastly we will be talking about a player that has been suggested by Ronald Koeman. So starting with the first topic, ever since Koeman did get appointed by FC Barcelona, a lot of business decisions are being made, and we have heard many times that Koeman is being involved with the sporting directors. He is involved in their plans to discuss who needs to be talked to, what are the plans going forward, and who's going to be leaving this club. And it says here, according to Santiago Valle, today there was a board meeting with Ramon Planes, the new technical secretary, with the intentions of deciding which players will be sold. Barcelona squad is the highest paid in Europe. The payroll must be reduced in order to sign new players. Now, for those of you guys who are wondering, what in the world does this have to do with Ronald Koeman? And it says here, according to Javi Miguel, there was this interviewer that asked him, what are you going to do with Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, and Gerard Piqué? And Ramon Planes said this: I understand you want all information, but we have to work in silence. You have to have respect for players who have given so much to FC Barcelona. We have been talking to Koeman for many hours, and that is what makes it official, right? It is official that Koeman is involved and is going to be deciding, along with the sporting directors, on what this squad is going to look like. And I'm going to continue to say this because this is a huge deal. It's great to see that a coach does have power in the decision making in this transfer window, and so he will be communicating these plans towards every individual player on what their future is going to look like with this club. And what gets very surprising is that he is going to be communicating these plans and what he plans to do with Lionel Messi. Now obviously Koeman and the board and the sporting directors are going to be trying to communicate what type of winning project they're going to have and try to explain that to Lionel Messi. And so look, the whole reason why I wanted to give you guys that type of context before I do get into the Messi news, it is because today, about a couple of hours ago, Koeman did leave Sports City around 12:30 p.m. And the only reason why Koeman did leave Barcelona is because he was going to have a meeting with Lionel Messi. He was going to communicate those plans on what he's going to do with that club. And not only that, but Messi is going to tell Ronald Koeman what he plans on doing with his future career. What are his intentions? Does he want to move away from Barcelona? Does he want to retire? Does he want to go to Argentina? And so many things are going to be discussed in that meeting. And so Koeman is going to be talking to the other captains of this club, but I do want to focus on Messi because we do have some breaking news. It has been said that after that meeting that Koeman did have with Messi, according to Rack 1, Messi has told Koeman that he does not see his future at the club clearly. The player has assured him that right now he is more outside than inside the club, but he is aware of the difficulties of leaving due to the contractual conditions. Rack 1 continues to say, the club maintains that Messi has a contract in force, that they still have him at the club, and say that they do not want to make any assessment about the meeting between the coach and Lionel Messi. And this is telling us so many things, and one of them is that Messi is fed up. Messi is at a point where he does have to tell the coach that he does not know what he wants to do with FC Barcelona going forward. And to be honest, that is the last thing we want to hear, is that Messi does want to leave this club, knowing that we do have our first game ahead and our season does start in 3 weeks. And obviously this does lead to other questions like, okay, if Messi does leave Barcelona, where is he going to go next? Is he going to go to Manchester City, PSG? Because to be honest, Messi is being paid around 30 million euros a year. Which club is going to be able to afford his wages? But that is besides the point, right? Let's not go too into detail or too deep into that. Let's focus on Messi and Barcelona, because I do want to give my input and what I think is going to happen with Lionel Messi, because I think that what we have heard today is not as serious as we do think. Now keep in mind that the media is going to portray that Messi might leave FC Barcelona in this season and that this is going to be the end of this club. But here's what I have to say about this situation. I think that Messi understands that this season is quickly approaching. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we have to remember that Messi did say in an interview like 9 months back, around the beginning of the 2019-2020 season, that if he was to leave this club, he would let the club know with time, meaning that he will not leave this club knowing that this squad does have to play in 3 weeks. Because regardless of how badly Barcelona has treated Messi, regardless of how unprepared this club has been in the past 4 years and how upset Messi is with Barcelona, Messi is not going to turn his back and say, I'm going to leave right now. I don't care. I don't care how Barcelona is going to be playing their first match in 3 weeks. I want to leave. I want to go to Man City. I want to go to PSG because you know what? Screw this club. He's not going to say that. Messi is not the type of guy to do that. And I think that the best case scenario, if we're talking about Messi leaving Barcelona, Messi would would want to leave with a smooth transition. He's not going to just leave last minute. I think that if Messi does decide to leave, he's going to say, okay, look, I'm going to stay out my contract. I'm going to leave on June 2021, and I'm probably going to let this club know around December 2020 that I will be leaving. That would be the best case scenario. That is how Messi will leave and exit this club. And to be honest, if Barcelona is given that early alert that Messi is going to be leaving on June 2021, it's going to be up to Barcelona to prepare what they want this club to look like after Messi does leave. We also have elections coming in 2021. We have Victor Font coming in, Xavi Hernandez coming in, and so we can't always rely on Lionel Messi. This club is not Messi FC. This is FC Barcelona. And so for those of you guys who are wondering, but maybe I don't want Messi to leave, I want Messi to retire at Barcelona. Well, think about this. What if, right? There's always going to be that what if. What if Koeman does actually rebuild Barcelona? What if Koeman does bring a successful first season with this club? Because look, what if, right? What if Messi is playing throughout this first season under Koeman and he sees De Jong playing well in his natural position? He sees Ansu Fati growing as a player. He sees Trincao, Dembele, and Conrad de la Fuente bringing great performances day in, day out. Wouldn't you think that Messi is going to be looking at this and say, you know what? I think Barcelona is up to something. Now we're talking. Now we're actually building something that I actually do want to see before I do leave in about 2 or 3 years. Now it looks like Barcelona can be competitive at the highest level of football. And so there's always going to be that what if. And that is why I say that this is not as serious as many people might think. But that is where we're at the moment. I think that Messi will continue to play in the next season. Koeman will try his absolute best to revolutionize this team in the best way possible. And so let's just keep our fingers crossed. Let's hope that Barcelona does do well in the first season and that Messi does continue to play and wear that FC Barcelona shirt going forward. And so since we are talking about building the next FC Barcelona, the one player that I do want to talk about next is Pedro Gonzalez Lopez, also known as Pedri. And so this is just in. Pedri has just signed for this club. He did put the pen on paper exactly like Koeman did yesterday. And even before Pedri did sign those papers, he did already train with Barcelona in the training ground. And this is a huge deal because seeing that Pedri has signed with this club, Pedri is known to be one of the most young, exciting talents Barcelona do currently have at hand. And what makes this even more exciting is that this player here is 16 years old and he will be training with the first team. So the sky is the limit for this player. It's going to be very exciting to see Pedri play in the preseason with the first team. He might be playing right next to Lionel Messi, De Jong, Ricky Puig, and so that itself is already telling us that Barcelona do have something going forward. And Pedri did say a few things in that interview throughout his presentation, and he said this: I didn't think I'd ever be able to fulfill my dream of playing with Barcelona. My idol is Iniesta, and now I hope to learn from the best player in the world who's here, and I hope that he stays. Barcelona is part of my family. And that is what gets so many fans excited about this player, is that this player here, he has the right attitude. He is not that young player that's coming into this club and saying, I'm here to make a mark in this club. I'm here to be the best player in the world at this club. Pedri is not doing that. Pedri is coming into this club saying, I love this club. I want to represent this badge and I want to be here and just give it my absolute best. That right there is the correct attitude to have as a young player. This young player here shows all the maturity in the world. And for him to have that correct and right attitude, he is well on his way and taking the correct steps to having a successful season with FC Barcelona. And so we will be following you, Pedri. We do wish you the best and let's hope that you do find your way with Barcelona. Now moving on to the last topic of the day, and we are going to be talking about a player that has been reportedly suggested by Koeman, and his name is Wijnaldum, who is a Liverpool midfielder. Now the only reason why I'm bringing this report up is because there has been many reports suggesting that Koeman does favor this move. And before we go even deeper into this, just remember this: there is no reliable source that has claimed that Koeman does want to bring in Wijnaldum in, but let's scratch the surface on this topic, right? Let's just say what if he does come in, because to be honest, we never know. Koeman does have a lot of plans with Barcelona going forward, and so let's talk about this player for a second. Let's split this into two parts. Why would this move make sense and why would this move not make sense? And it says here, Barcelona have not made an approach for Wijnaldum, but he is highly rated by the new manager Ronald Koeman. Wijnaldum's Liverpool contract does end next summer, and right now there is no talks at the moment about a new deal. So we are going to start with, why would this move make sense? How would Barcelona benefit from bringing in a player with this type of quality? And so there has been backlash on the fans on why Barcelona should not bring in this player. They have said that Wijnaldum has only scored 2 goals in the UCL. He has scored 4 goals in the EPL and has started in 35 games out of 37. And for him to only score a total of 6 6 goals in those 35 matches is not good enough for an attacking midfielder, right? According to the Barcelona fan base, which is a very valid point, right? And look, yes, Wijnaldum does have other roles. He is that player to start the attack. He may not give the assist and those goals all the time. And maybe that could be the problem, right? Because right now Barcelona is looking for that midfielder that does bring those goals and those assists. That midfielder that can be effective. And again, it makes sense. Why wouldn't Barcelona want to bring in a midfielder like Kevin De Bruyne, someone who can score and bring those assists? We want that effective midfielder. But here is what gets very interesting. If we look at the form of Wijnaldum under Koeman in the Netherlands, let's bring in all the matches that the Netherlands have played in 2019 in all competitions. Wijnaldum under Koeman in 2019 scored 8 goals and provided 3 assists in 10 matches. And so clearly we can see that Wijnaldum is not that same player when he does play with Koeman. He is much more effective. He does contribute much more goals and assists under Koeman because, to be honest, I think that Koeman does know how to use him. He knows how to bring the best out of this midfielder. And keep in mind, this is an attacking midfielder. And if Barcelona were to have a midfielder to score 8 goals and 3 assists in 10 matches, why would Barcelona not want to bring him in? And I think that Koeman does see that. He does see, look, if we bring in a player like this who can score goals, who can bring those assists, someone who can potentially compete with Kevin De Bruyne, that would be great and would make the most sense for Barcelona. And so now I want to move on to why it would not make sense. This is going to be very simple. Wijnaldum is worth 45 million euros, and that is something that Barcelona do not have. Now, if Barcelona do not buy any other player besides Wijnaldum, yes, we could buy this player for 45 million, but Barcelona do have other operations in hand that they do want to focus on. And to be honest, it's going to be up to Barcelona on what they do want to spend their money on. And the other point on why this would not make sense is that Wijnaldum right now is 29 years old. Maybe being 29 years old may not be a valid point on why this will not make sense because it's just the age. If you're bringing numbers and you're bringing goals and assists, the age doesn't matter, right? But look, if you were to bring another midfielder in this Barcelona squad, this is going to come into the expense of taking the minutes away from the youth. And so the only way I can see this work is if Barcelona literally do let go of Busquets, Vidal, Rakitic, Rafinha, and Sergi Roberto. If you were to let go of those 5 midfielders, then yes, it would make sense to bring in a 29-year-old named Wijnaldum and have him right next to the players of Pjanic, Elenia, Riqui Puig, and De Jong. If you were to have those 5 midfielders, then yes, it would make sense to bring a 29-year-old midfielder. But those are the reasons why it would not make sense and why it would make sense. It will be up to Barcelona to see if this move would add value to the squad. And so just a reminder, there has been no reliable sources to confirm that Koeman does want to bring this player in, but we're just scratching the surface just to have an idea of what type of player like him can bring to Barcelona. So that'll be it for today's Barcelona daily news. That is what's currently going on at the club. A lot of good news, a lot of bad news, but we do still stand strong today. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.